Hey, what is going on? Yes, I am live. Welcome to Beautiful Start Podcast live. And just give me a second. I'm just setting things up a bit so that I could, you know. But anyway, so I'm live tonight. Tonight I'm going to be talking about taking care of yourself because it is very important that we start to take care of ourselves because taking care of ourselves is pouring into us, is linked to self-care, right? Self-care is very important, right? So self-care and taking care of yourself is hand in hand. It's pretty much the same thing, right? A lot of times people go through life just ripping and running, working, taking care of everyone else. As women, we not only have to take care of ourselves, but we take care of other people, especially if you have children. We want the best for our kids. We want, to ensure that our children are fine, and also our loved ones, right? Taking care of, sometimes elderly family members or, close friends, parents, right? And also, we still have to provide and take care of ourselves in terms of financially. So I know that there's a lot of you out there that, that work, and if you guys aren't working and you are stay-at-home housewives or moms, you still got to take care of the home, in terms of doing things like that, I would like to think that people aren't just getting up and just sleeping in the bed all day, even though that there's some people out there who do that. And it's just okay. But sometimes we have to, regardless of how you feel, right? Because I know it's a lot of people out there that is experiencing different things that they're going through that can affect their mood or affect how they feel. Now, I have to put this disclaimer out there. I'm not a mental health professional or specialist. I'm not a psychiatrist or anything like that. So I'm talking about a topic that's very touchy, but if anyone out there that's experiencing any type of experiencing something where they're not motivated, they're not doing nothing, they're not able to get out of the bed and just do their daily functions, then I suggest that, you go out there and, you seek help or help yourself, because there's nothing normal about, waking up and just not wanting to do nothing and staying in the bed all day, that's when I say that, that's why it's important for us to check in on ourselves and ensure that we're okay, because sometimes even though we're taking care of everyone else and doing so much for everyone else, sometimes we don't have that for us. You know what I'm saying? And even some women who are in relationships, they doing everything for their spouse, their partner, and they not getting none of that in return, right? So my thing is, take care of yourself first. Make yourself a priority. Because in order to take care of other people, we have to make sure that we are okay. We are good. You know what I'm saying? And I don't care what nobody says. It's okay at times to be selfish. I believe in that, because it's been times in my life where I put everyone else's feelings and situation before my own, because I was considered like a people pleaser. I just wanted to be there, for other people, even if it meant I was neglecting myself in some way. But in the long run, that hurt me. You know what I'm saying? It didn't do anything for me. And I wasn't getting that in return. I just feel like if I do something for somebody else, right? Back in the days where I used to think if I do something for somebody, they're going to do it for me. That's not true. And I had to learn that the hard way. I had to learn that the hard way. What I do for other people, that don't mean they're going to do for me or they obligated to do for me. You know what I'm saying? And it hurts when, you do something for somebody or look out for somebody, making sure somebody else is good, showing up for their events, being there, and they not there for you. That's a hurtful feeling. That's why, like, now when I do things for people, I do it because I genuinely want to, right? I genuinely want to, and not because, oh, I'm going to get something I'm gonna get something out of it. Like, I'm gonna get something, like they're gonna return the favor to me. They're gonna do the same thing that I did for them, So I don't maneuver like that no more. Like, if I do something, I do it for the kindness of my heart, not because of what I'm gonna get out of it. Even though, like, I just honestly feel like, people could use each other, like, but I just honestly feel like if I do something for somebody, it's because I want to do something for somebody, not because I'm going to get anything out of it. And I had to learn that the hard way, because I was doing things for people and it was not being reciprocated. It was not. You know what I'm saying? And then I had to take a long look in the mirror at myself and my behaviors, and and in terms of my behaviors, helping out people, and they just wasn't there for me, I had to be like, yo, I have to step back and focus on myself, because at the end of the day, ain't nobody showing up for me, so I have to show up for myself. That's just like, when you going through something hard, in life, yeah, you want somebody there to be a helping hand, or to lend you encouraging words and build you up, especially when you have like friends, right? Or certain family members and stuff like that. You want people to be there, but everyone has something going on. You know what I'm saying? As I got older, I realized, like, my friends have their own life, right? And although, there's people out there who are very vocal about what they're going through and what they're experiencing, like, even people put their business online, you know what I'm saying? But there are some people out there who are not going to tell you what they're going through, who are not going to tell you what they're struggling with. And so when they don't show up for you, you can't take that stuff personal, right? Even though it's hard not to take it personal, because it's like, yo, this is my day one. We friends, you know what I'm saying? But what I realize is everyone is not going to tell you what they're going through or what they're struggling with. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes they just gonna, go into themselves. I mean, like, isolate themselves, or, distract themselves, or just be in their own little bubble or their own little space. You know what I'm saying? And I try not to take things so much personal. I'm 40 years old. I don't know how old you guys are. I lived a nice long life. You feel me? I mean, I don't think 40 is old, but you know what I'm saying? When somebody 20 years old, they be like, God damn. Like, I remember being 20 and thinking about 30, like, oh my God. But, I've had a lot of experiences in my lifetime, and I acquire a lot of wisdom and stuff like that. And I just feel like a lot of things is not really meant for me to take personal. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like when you don't take stuff personal, you don't allow your emotions to be heavily involved with it. It's just like, all right, that's a you problem. That doesn't have anything to do with me. You know what I'm saying? And I just feel like even in times when you don't have anybody, right, to talk to have someone to be there for you, because sometimes it feels good to know that, people care, but what feels even better is to know that you have your own back, you know what I'm saying, and that you could pour life into yourself, and that you're not bored, or feel so lonely that you want to go into your contacts in your phone and call up people that you ain't call and speak to in like 50 years, you know what I'm saying, to avoid that feeling, or that you know what I'm saying, that to avoid dealing with yourself, right? Because a lot of times people avoid dealing with themselves and actually uh dealing with their problems, coming up with solutions, and figuring out why they are where they are in life. You know what I'm saying? Or doing things that's going to fuel them. You know, because at the end of the day, if you ripping and running, you working, you know, going to school, you know, taking care of, you know, people, whether that's family members, you know, some people in the community, right? Because it's like, depending on where we live at, you know, some people are close, have a close knit community where people check up on each other, especially like, you know, elderly people, you know. So it's like, you know, when you have a lot of things going on, sometimes it can be easy to forget about you and to do the necessary things to make sure that you're good, make sure that you're balanced, make sure that, you know, your emotions are not out of whack, to make sure that the next day you're going to get up and do what it is that you need to do for yourself, right? But when you are in a space where you can't even get out of the bed, when your mind is foggy, you know, because of all the things that, you know, you're going through that you're not addressing, you know what I'm saying? Because sweeping something under the rug and acting like it doesn't exist don't mean that that thing is going to go away, right? I'm an active believer in dealing with our problems head on and coming up with solutions, right? And I'm not saying like, you know, because I know it's people out there that have had, you know, traumatic experiences that's overlapping into their current life, you know, which they're allowing it to, right? So I just feel like all of those things that, you know, people are going through or experiencing, you know, we have to deal with those things. You know what I'm saying? You have to deal with your issues and your problems and come up with solutions and be a problem solver to your own problems, you know, and not to sweep things under the rug and act like things aren't happening, you know. And sometimes with that acting like things aren't happening, sometimes we could see things that are going on that are not good for us, but because, you know, we don't want to jeopardize whatever relationship or jeopardize, you know, certain things, people act like they don't see it, you know. And in terms of, let me talk about relationships. Now, there's a lot of people that are in relationships that they don't even no longer need to be in those relationships no more, but they don't see a way out for themselves. And there's nothing wrong with moving on. You know what I'm saying? Some people create these attachments to people that are no longer serving them. You know, it's, you know, I'm not no dating coach, you know, but I do have eyes and I do have my experiences, and I do know that sometimes we outgrow things, just like you outgrow your clothes, right? Because at the end of the day, right, the clothes that you was wearing when you was like 10, 9, you can't fit them. You know what I'm saying? Even the clothes that you was wearing in high school, some people are fortunate to say like, yeah, you know, I didn't gain weight. You know, I've been the same size since high school. But for a lot of us, listen, them clothes, you can't even get one thigh in a pair of jeans that you had on in high school. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes it's good to get rid of the old and bring into the new. And it's not a negative thing, right? Ending relationships and moving forward with your life is not a negative thing. Like, some people feel like, oh, they gotta rock with certain people forever. No, boo boo, no. I don't believe that. You know what I'm saying? Especially when it's not serving you. You know, especially those relationships that are abusive. Like, sometimes when we get in relationships, we forget how it felt when we was single, when we was, you know, just an individual person, you know. And we get into these relationships and we feel all these obligations for somebody else. Like we have to be there. We have to love and care for them and make certain excuses for the behaviors that they have. Absolutely not. And then sometimes, that you don't want to be with this person no more. You feel that energy, and especially like you don't need to be in a relationship with somebody who is verbally or physically abusing you. Being in a relationship with someone who's abusing you is just like having gasoline on you and someone else have the match. And at any time, they could set that match off and set you on fire. That's how I would say dangerous being in a relationship like that is. And for whatever, it's like, let me tell you something. This world has been here for I don't know how many years, for like forever, hundreds and hundreds of years. And nothing is new under the sun. And although, if this is your first time listening to this podcast, even years ago, I have addressed domestic violence. I even did a whole video on what it's like to go into a domestic violence shelter. I did a whole video breaking that down. I did a video about, what to do if he hits you first. Like, what should you do if your spouse hits you first? I did all those videos, like giving information. There's information out there, but for some reason, when you are in that situation, right? When you're going through a domestic violence relationship, when someone is being abusive towards you, I don't care what your status is, because a lot of times people have a misconception or perception of what a domestic violence victim look like. They think like this person is not doing nothing, and they think that it's like this broke man who ain't got no money and he just beating on his wife. It could be anybody. There's millionaires that be beating on their wives, rich people, poor people, middle class. Like, this is something that has been going on forever, right? But for whatever reason, whenever a woman finds herself in that situation, right? Because it may start off as subtle stuff, right? In terms of like the guy might just be like, start talking to you crazy, calling you out of your name, saying little demeaning statements, bringing you down, comparing you to other people, just picking at your esteem. It starts off like that, and then it escalates into them beating you, but a lot of times what they like to do is they like to isolate you from your family. That's what they do. Oh, okay, I got this new job in California, so let's go to California. They want to, what they do is they want to give you that fake fantasy, or, they trying to feed into whatever it is that, you like. So that's why people can't really identify, when they're going to be in an abusive relationship or when it's going to happen, because, this person is there and they just telling you everything that you want to hear, lying to you and all that stuff, until they get you by yourself. And sometimes, guys are so crafty, and I'm not going to say, all abusers are men, because there's some women out there who are abusers as well. So I'm not going to, because there's some women out there who are in same-sex relationships, because what domestic violence is, it's just a control, like one person has power and the other one doesn't. It's just a control thing, but a lot of times the certain patterns are pretty much the same, like this dude want to isolate you, from your family, or take your cell phone, that's why, for all the ladies out there who are interested in having someone take care of them, you looking for a sugar daddy or a sugar mama, and you gold digging and stuff like that, but when someone has that much power and control over you as far as your resources, you have to be a little bit smart and wise in terms of, okay, what happens when they stop giving you the money and stop giving you the resources that you need? What you gonna do then? That's why, like, whenever you go into any situation, you have to go in as an individual. Like, yes, there are a lot of different belief systems, religions, and stuff like that. Certain ways of thinking that feel like, when you get into a relationship, you guys become one. But I feel like taking on that thought, I don't want to say thought form, but taking on that perception of what it means to be married and all that stuff, I feel like sometimes that can be detrimental. Like when you leave and when you're trying to exit, because at the end of the day, if you feel like this is your soulmate, this is your partner, and I'm going to be with this person forever until I die, then that's going to be, and it's against my religion to leave this person. It's against, what my parents says, or it's against what, the belief systems that I believe in, like, then you're going to be in a relationship that is detrimental probably for the rest of your life. And, there's a lot of women out there who are 6 feet under because they didn't leave a relationship when they were supposed to leave the relationship. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, love is not a man setting you on fire. Love is not a person cutting your arms off. You know what I'm saying? Or physically, fracturing your jaw. You know what I'm saying? Even slapping you. You know what I'm saying? That's not love. That's abuse. That's torture. I don't care. Like, a lot of times people been with, in relationships for like 50 years, 20 years, 30 years, you know what I'm saying? Because they've been with this person since high school, right? And like I said, yeah, you could grow together, and with your partner, right? And when I say grow together, I mean, y'all still meet eye to eye. Like, y'all still eye to eye, because it's all about communication and shit like that. But when someone is not going to, respect and love you and not put their hands on you, that's a problem. That's a problem. That's a problem. And I don't care if, this is your first encounter experiencing this, but you got to think about 5 years ahead. Like, I don't, like, there's women out there, that they have stayed with a significant other who've been abusing them for years because that's all they know. You know what I'm saying? If all you know is this person, you've been with this person since high school, since elementary, all this fairy tale BS, you know what I'm saying? And you feel like, oh yeah, you one up. But the dude has drained you of your life force. You're no longer the same person, yo. And sometimes it's okay to walk away from things. Like, it hurts. You know what I'm saying? Just like, it hurts when, you love someone and they don't love you the way that you love them. Like, you looking out for them and they just want to beat you and, and F up your life. And have you turn you into a slave. Because that's what it is. However you put it. Like, this person has dominance over you, control over you, telling what to do. You know what I'm saying? You have to start taking care of yourself. You have to start loving yourself. You have to start loving what you see in the mirror. You have to start loving yourself truly and know that you don't deserve none of that, even if it's just verbal abuse. You know what I'm saying? You don't deserve none of that. You don't deserve it. And you shouldn't allow no one to break you down in that manner. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of times, people do leave these relationships, but the scars, the mental scars that it has, created is a lot. It's a lot, and you have to continue working on yourself and building yourself up. You know what I'm saying? Building yourself up. There is life after, being in an abusive relationship or being in any kind of any kind of relationship, because a lot of times people put a lot of emphasis on the intimacy relationships, like, the ones that we have with our spouse, boyfriends, girlfriends, even friends. There's some friends out there who are abusive to their friends. They don't want you to have a friend or a best friend. They so jealous, and malicious, evil people. Okay. Those people do exist. And that's why you have to armor yourself and protect yourself and love yourself and take care of yourself and believe what your eyes are showing you. Because it's like you can't see, because it's a lot of times people be so foggy, like the being in love fogs your damn brain. I don't know what it is. Eve did a song many, many years ago talking about love is blind. Yeah. That shit it will blind you to the truth. You see what you want to see. You see what you want to see. Right? And a lot of times, being, having abusive, like people say, oh, it's just like, abusive relationships. But sometimes people, have abusive parents, been in their parents have isolated them and kept them away and abused them, right? It's a lot of adults, that have those experiences when they was a child, and it's just like, even now their parents still have some type of control over them. And it's just like, you're a grown ass person. You're a grown ass adult. Like no one, I don't care who they are, should be treating you like shit. Treating you like, beating you, verbally abusing you, making you feel like, you're not deserving of love, or, calling you names, or making you have some type of distorted image about yourself, like, making you perceive yourself in a different light. I don't care who these people are or what these people are. You know what I'm saying? You need to start taking care of yourself and making yourself a priority and start, pouring life into yourself, because at the end of the day, it's you. Ain't nobody going to look out for you but you. And yeah, it's hard to walk away from certain relationships and certain, your past, because that's essentially what it is. You know what I'm saying? A old life that you had. Like sometimes it's like, it's challenging to walk away from those things of what you know. And sometimes it's scary, especially when you've been with somebody, or anybody, like someone's been taking care of you financially, because sometimes, women stay in these situations because of finances. Like, oh, this person taking care of me and all this stuff. But ain't no money in the world worth your life. I don't care. It ain't worth your life. It's not worth the way you are now, the way you physically look now. It ain't worth losing that. There's a lot of women out there that give their testimony about, being disfigured for life from whether it's a person they was in a relationship with, a spouse, or whether it's like a close family member or friend or someone that they trusted who was just an evil, jealous person who wanted to dominate them. And so they beat them, right? And it may sound a little like, for those people who have not experienced that, it's so hard for you to understand what another person has experienced or gone through, or what even led this person to be in that situation. You cannot conceive that because you haven't experienced that, and your mindset has not been shattered. Like the foundation of your mind has not been broken. right? Because at the end of the day, in order for someone to really, do this kind of thing to a person and that they stay with them at some level, they're broken in terms of their mind. Like someone broke their mind, like broken down their mindset, like giving them thoughts to, like, pretty much with the verbal abuse, you could break someone down in a mind, and when you break someone down in a mind, everything that they have known is no longer, like the certain belief systems that they had, the way that they viewed themselves, right? You ever see someone who was just so jolly, so happy, so full of life, and then after they get in this relationship with this person, you don't even know who they are. You know what I'm saying? Because they took on, the identity that their partner wanted them to have. Or even, whoever is doing the abusing. You know what I'm saying? It's like this person has control over them, right? And a lot of times that's why you got to be very mindful of the company and the people and the relationships that you are, because some people don't have good intentions. People enter relationships for many different reasons, right? But that's why you have to be intentional about what it is that you want out of your life. And in order to know exactly what it is that you want, sometimes it takes time to spend time with ourselves and to, tap into our inner voice and to know, what it is that we want out of life. Because if you don't know what you want out of life, like a lot of times, if you was abused, if you was abused as a child, verbally abused, physically abused as a child, 9 out of 10 times when you get older and you go into relationships, you're going to end up with somebody who's abusive. Now, you could look at research studies, people testimonies who have been in abusive relationships, right? And I'm not saying all, so don't get it twisted, because if you meet somebody they want to fuck with your head so that they could get you to do what they want you to do, that's exactly what they're going to do. And that's why you got to be strong minded and figure out your place in life and know yourself. You know what I'm saying? And in knowing yourself, I feel like in knowing yourself is taking care of yourself, because you're taking the time out to do things for yourself. A lot of times people want other people to do stuff for us, but when you doing it for yourself, you know what I'm saying, you showing yourself the love, to yourself, right? Your value is not dependent on what somebody else thinks about you or feel about you. You know what I'm saying? That outside stuff don't even matter. You know what I'm saying? That's why it's important to start to celebrate yourself and do something good for yourself on a consistent basis. And I'm not talking about, just going out there shopping and buying different things and all of a sudden you got all this unnecessary stuff. But you could do things and subtle. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a lot of things that, exercises and things that, we can do that can build up our self-esteem. Certain practices, right? It's not what you do, it's not what you do at one time, but like the things that you do over on a consistent basis, like, the daily things that we're doing, right? Because sometimes people on a daily basis, people don't do nothing for themselves. They just they doing things for other people. They ain't doing nothing for themselves. Not even sitting down writing. Sometimes even writing out your feelings is getting stuff out and tapping into that inner voice. Because a lot of times, I'm gonna share because I am a domestic violence survivor, right? Now, when I started tapping into myself and started, writing out stuff, right? I started to discover the things that I really felt and really wanted. And instead of all this what to say, ideology or someone else's views, because it's like, when you with someone that's abusive and you in a relationship with somebody, it's like you take on what the role that they want you to play. You know what I'm saying? You start to learn this person's triggers, but really you really don't know their triggers, because anything could set someone off. You know what I'm saying? Anything. And I have to stress that to you. Anything could trigger a person, and you just don't know. But in me taking time out for myself and writing and start tapping into myself, I realize I'm like, I don't deserve this. Even though my story is my old story, because I definitely have a new story, and what I've learned is that we could create many stories for ourselves. Every day is a new day. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like we could create something new within that day that's going to shape our future. You know what I'm saying? So the stories that I've experienced in my past, that's my past. That's not where I am in my life now. You know what I'm saying? That's why I'm able to come up here and talk about this stuff, because I know that there's probably a lot of other millions of women out there who have shared their story or whatever, but that's my past. You know what I'm saying? That's something that I could reflect on and be like, okay, well, I did this to get over that, but I know it was a long journey. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was definitely a long journey, and it was definitely times when I left and I went back. Left and went back. It was just like that cycle of abuse shit. That shit is some real shit. And I even broke down that the cycle of abuse on one of my podcast episodes, right? So I even broke that down, right? Because before I was very heavy on it, because I wanted to share the information and knowledge that I had. But what I realized is an individual thing that we have to wake up on our own, because it's people out there that they're gonna tell you the truth. Like, I'm pretty sure if anyone's listening to this who has experienced that, you have family members and friends who like, yo, what the fuck? Why are you with this person? You know what I'm saying? They just really banging it on you, right? And those times when you like, oh, I don't want to be with this person, whatever, and your family member let you go stay with them, you even enter the shelter, and then you find yourself right back with this person. It's like they finesse you. And they have an aspect of your mind and your emotions, but you got to let all that emotional shit go. You know what I'm saying? Because some people like to hold on to memories of when it was good. Like, people like to hold on to the memories of when it was good. But what about the memories when it was bad? I mean, tragic. You know what I'm saying? What about those memories? You know what I'm saying? And the different scars that you have on your body of, the old marks that represents what this person actually did to you. You know what I'm saying? Because the marks, like the wounds, they heal, right? But the psychological, the mental, right? When you have someone that's been working on your mind, right? Like, let me tell you something. My whole life, people been fucking with my head. You know what I'm saying? Like, on some crazy shit, like, for real. And I could sit back and really see that shit. You know what I'm saying? Because I was working on myself, and I was able to, break down certain things. That's why it's important to spend time with yourself. And I'm not saying like, isolating yourself and not communicating with nobody and nothing like that. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying spending time with yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like, sometimes, we like to spend time with ourselves and watch different movies and do our nails, do our hairs and stuff like that. But what about self-reflection? Really checking in with yourself and, thinking about where you really want to be in life. You know what I'm saying? Like, because sometimes when life happens, I mean, and boy, does it happen, and it happens so fast, Sometimes it happens so fast, we don't even realize that we are in a certain situation that we don't want to even be in no more, right? So that's why it's important to self-reflect and to check in with yourself and to write out stuff. You know what I'm saying? And get it, start working on yourself daily, right? And there's a lot of different things that you can incorporate into your life that's going to help you to be present, and definitely be present in the reality that you want to have, and it's not dictated on no one else. Because a lot of people's reality is dependent on somebody else. You know what I'm saying? And I'm saying, if you don't want to be in that situation, you know what I'm saying? Like, when you have that awakening on your own, that's something that you have to get yourself out of. And there's a lot of different resources that you could utilize. They have different domestic violence shelters. If you guys are well off, you could utilize your own resources, your own money, and go on and move on, because life is beautiful. We are not meant to be beat up, abused, verbally abused. I don't care who it is. You know what I'm saying? I don't care how good they look. They could look fly as hell. You know what I'm saying? I don't care about none of that stuff. I care about freedom. I care about, me loving myself and not subjecting myself to pain or hurt or misery. Just to say that I'm in a relationship with somebody, or to have a certain, status, and like that it doesn't even matter. You know what I'm saying? Some women feel like, oh, well, I'm going to just deal with it because, at least, he's providing for me. He's doing this for me. But you can't be yourself, the self that you want to be. You know what I'm saying? He's beating you, right? But those things do, a lot of women have experienced that, right? But moving on to a place where you want to be, and ultimately loving what you see in the mirror, and loving yourself, period, and taking the time out for yourself, and getting yourself back to your authentic self, whatever that is. And sometimes, like, taking out these different belief systems that's keeping us stuck in a situation that we don't want to be in, and recognizing it, because like I said, it's not for no one else to recognize whatever situation you in. It's for you to recognize that situation. Because like I said, you can have people out there that's willing to help you, but if you still are going to allow yourself to feed into the lies that this person is telling you, and you're going to keep going back to that person, then what's the whole meaning behind it? It's I'm not going to sit here and try to sugarcoat nothing with you guys, because I already know how this works. It's going to be times when people leave an abusive relationship, and they're going to keep going back, and it becomes a cycle until you say, like, yo, this is it. This is not what I deserve. Like, why should you be fake in your personal relationships, right? People go to work and they be fake all day, every day, fake at work. So why the hell should you be fake in your personal life to appease somebody else? Why should you fear somebody in your household, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's not adding up, right? So we have to start moving strategically when it comes to certain, relationship. And yes, I don't care what nobody say about this narcissistic, selfish. No, sometimes you gotta put yourself first. In that situation, yeah, you have to put yourself first, because that person is putting themselves first, and they're not letting you. They got you at the bottom of their feet with their foot on your head and your neck and your body, and holding you down from your greatness, from being the woman that you supposed to be. You know what I'm saying? And that's really deep. Life can start over at any age. I don't care what nobody say. Listen, you 70 years old, your life could start over. Start your life over. It's a matter of your mind. You know what I'm saying? Because your mind, your body, listen, a lot of people are mindless in certain relationships because they're allowing somebody else to do the thinking for them. You know what I'm saying? You allow somebody else to do the thinking for you, to direct you, to take you wherever they want you to go. And it's not because of, it's not because of your feelings or anything like that. It's all about what they have going on. You know what I'm saying? And I'm talking about those abusive relationships. I'm not talking about a relationship where you guys are in agreement and you want your man to lead you and you okay with that, and you are not being abused or none of that stuff, and that's the type of relationship you want. See, what people are misconstruing about what I'm saying, you know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, I'm not no dating coach. You know what I'm saying? I'm not no relationship expert. I'm telling you what I observe, what I experience. You feel what I'm saying? So this is something that, is definitely a tricky topic, but so many women are in this experience, that's dealing with this, where they don't have no say so over their life because they following behind this person who is just destroying them and destroying everything that they stand for and they built for whatever reason. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of times these dudes be doing this. They want to break you down and beat you, and then they go out and treat the other woman good and all that stuff. And you know what I'm saying? They have a reason to cheat and to, you know what I'm saying? Well, if a cheater's going to cheat anyway, you know what I'm saying? That's just what it is, right? But a lot of times these guys, they want to keep you in bondage and keep you in a house and beat you. You know what I'm saying? And have you under their wing like you a nothing ass person, and then go out and cheat and treat somebody else good and shit like that. That's why you're able to see one man, right? And then you see like a whole bunch of women that they dealt with, and every woman could tell you a different experiences that they had with this person. You know what I'm saying? It is no reason why. Let me tell you something. There's no reason why. If you find out, right, and this is, I'm talking in general or whatever, right? If you find out your man is cheating on you, right? Whether via Facebook, online, you know what I'm saying? A lot of times, people be going through people's phones and shit. You know what I'm saying? I feel like if I'm in a relationship with somebody, I'm not going through nobody's phone. That's not what I'm not like, I'm 40 years old. I'm not going through your phone. I'm not doing none of that. Like, I'm at that age. I'm not going through your phone, brother. I don't give a fuck what you got going on, nigga. Long as you giving me what I want out of this relationship. Because if I feel like if I have to go through your phone and go through your social media and go through all this stuff, you ain't the person I need to be with. That's where I'm at in my life. Now, I ain't gonna say many years ago, many moons ago, you know what I'm saying? I wasn't like that. You know what I'm saying? Especially with the different ideology, belief systems and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? On that, how should I say it, that love and hip hop reality, you know what I'm saying, housewives, or turning up all the time. Nah, you know what I'm saying? No, absolutely not. Like, even getting out of a abusive relationship, sometimes, women create this defense like, yo, you know what I'm saying? But even that, like, I feel like even when you have someone out there like that's expressing themselves like that, if I ain't putting my hands on you, you shouldn't put your hands on me anyway. But I don't subscribe to going through nobody's phone and none of that stuff. I'm not doing that, right? But for whatever reason, hey, If you inspect a gadget, you know what I'm saying, you want to play investigator, that's on you. But I feel like at the end of the day, if you got to go through somebody's phone, that chances are they doing some shit. And why should you even subject yourself to that? So, but anyway, but if you discover that your spouse has cheated on you with somebody else and you have proof and you want to address it with them, you addressing it with them like, okay, yeah, who is this? And why, you know what I'm saying, in your inbox, you meeting up with this person and blah, 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 the regular stuff, like, when you, we find out some stuff. Because it's like, how many women out there done found out that their man was cheating? Some people even walked in on a man, cheating with women. You know what I'm saying? You at work, and you coming home, or maybe you going food shopping, you had a busy day, or maybe you just going away to see your parents and you come back early and this guy's in the bed with somebody. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that happens, right? But my thing is, let's say if you find out that your man is cheating, he cheated on you, right? And you address it to him, right? Alone. You address it to him alone. And his defense is he started beating you up. Beating you up because you found out that he was cheating. A lot of women experience that, getting beat up because they found out that their spouse is cheating. What kind of shit is that? You mean to tell me you know what I'm saying? It's just like, that's weird. That is so weird on so many levels. Like, it makes no sense. But a lot of women have experienced that, where their spouse beat them up because they found out that they was cheated on. And that is just the most hurtfulest thing that you could experience. You know what I'm saying? But when stuff like that happens, you are left with two choices. You're going to leave or you're going to leave. Those are the two choices. But, some people, like, they stay. Like, you know what I'm saying? I feel like, listen, if a guy is brazen enough to beat you up because they cheated, that ain't a man that you should be with. Like, you mean to tell me you can't sit down and have a conversation? You got to resort to violence. And like I said, it's vice versa too, because there's some women out there, they want to get it popping, and they very abusive too. So I'm not trying to say, oh yeah, it's just a man thing, you know what I'm saying? But traditionally speaking, in terms of heterosexual, relationships, right? Because, but there's different kind of relationships, you know what I'm saying? There's same-sex relationships. But my thing is, when you're approaching your spouse about that particular situation, it's like, why should they even put their hands on you for something that they did? They stepped out. It's not the other way around. They stepped out. But my thing is, you shouldn't subject yourself to that. It's okay to walk away from relationships. You will survive. You will be fine. It's been plenty of times, like, whether you have money or not, you could get by. There's means out there. Like, they have if you Google the domestic violence hotline number, and I don't know, depending on where you are, they could connect you with certain resources. I know in the United States, I'm not really familiar with outside of the United States, but definitely, Google the domestic violence hotline number if you are experiencing anything like that. Because, when you are going through something like that, especially when you love your partner and you want things to work, unfortunately, sometimes it doesn't work. And when things don't work or don't pan out the way it should, it's nothing wrong with walking away. And it's nothing wrong with walking away and not telling motherfuckers shit. I'm sorry. Like, I know people is going to probably come for me or whatever. But yes, I believe in ghosting. I don't care. I feel like I don't owe people an explanation as to what my choices are, because I just feel like in my lifetime, right, my experiences, my past stories, the things that I've gone through, I've noticed that people are not going to give you explanations. They're not going to, it kind of depends on people upbringing too, as far as having an open communication dialogue. But what I realize is it's a lot of grimy ass people out there. It's just like, like there's a lot of good people out there. There's a lot of bad people out there. And I just feel like sitting down with somebody who's abusive to you, who, breaking your bones, breaking your nose, bloody in your mouth, you got black eyes, pulling your hair out, setting you on fire, destroying your property that you pay for, breaking up your car. You don't need to sit down with them and rationalize and be like, you know what, listen, we had a great run, but it's time for me. They don't need to know shit. You need to strategize and get the fuck up out of there. Excuse my French, but you need to leave. I'm sorry. It's I don't need to sit down with somebody who's trying to take me out. If I feel like you trying to come for me physically or mentally, and when I say mentally, because people like to throw shit out there and attack your mind and try to, because if someone could get at your mind, get at you mentally, it's nothing you could do. Because your body is going to follow your mind. It's not the other way around. Your mind don't follow the body. Your body follows the mind. And if someone has, because a lot of people always talk about this mind control shit, and when they talk about mind control, they always talk about celebrities, and they talk about the Illuminati, and they talk about UFOs, like, oh, aliens is communicating to my brain, or whatever psychosis people are having, all these conspiracy theories online. But people would never talk about how your family have mind control over you, your parents that have mind control over you, and your spouse have mind control over you. They the ones that's closest to you when you think about it. People you listen to on a consistent basis. Like, the different audios or the different, TV shows and stuff. Like, when I was young growing up or whatever, right? The internet did exist, because they always had a Lifetime movie with somebody getting snatched up by somebody on the internet. Like, oh yeah, they was in the chat room talking to somebody. This didn't exist in the hood. We was dealing with hood problems. Going outside and not getting jumped. That was a reality. Like, But all this internet shit, meeting people online like it is now, that shit was like, at least for me. Now, if you meet somebody that grew up in the suburbs, they probably had a different experience. Like, yeah, I was chatting with somebody on AOL. He said he was 13 when I met him. He was 50. That wasn't the reality for me. Because it could have been, we had the chat line. We was, anybody out there who could remember about the chat line, yo, we used to be on the chat line all day, every day. So, like, that didn't exist. For me, really. Because that's we have different experiences, collectively. But then some of the things that we going through is kind of like, the same in some aspect. But damn, I done lost my damn train of thought. That's the thing about talking. You feel me? Like, yo, you be talking until all of a sudden the shit just go blank. You be like, God damn. Yeah. So that's what. But as far as like, yeah, I think I was talking about the mind control thing in terms of like the people that you talk to on a consistent basis, like in terms of who have access to you, they have access to your mind and the things that you are. That's why, uh, as a parent, right, you send your kids out, right, and you raise them and you teach them the values and the traditions and culture or the things that you want to instill with them as certain, so that they could navigate life based off of the knowledge and education and the information and wisdom that your parents have. But you still going out to school. You know what I'm saying? When I went to school, I learned a lot of crazy shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like going to school, right? Or even going out, hanging out in the community or whatever, and you meeting your friends and you meeting different people. They have an influence as well, and they instill or expose you to certain things. You know what I'm saying? Like when I used to go to school, like, and when I was young, right? Because a lot of people always talk about this hip hop shit, and every year it never fails, right? You have a hip hop artist or a rapper or even now singers, you know what I'm saying, who have music that's like, explicit. That's like explicit, and then people try to act like this is some new phenomenon about somebody rapping about their vagina or coochie, you know what I'm saying, or sexual experiences or some crazy shit, you know what I'm saying. People always act like it's some new phenomenon, but it's not. This nothing's new under the sun. I remember when I was young, listening to, rappers who was talking about crazy explicit things that I should not have never been listening to. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, and that has an influence on people, even books, certain things, right? Sometimes books will have a positive, influence because it's exposing you to different ways of thinking depending on who the author is and what the subject is about. You know what I'm saying? Because when I was growing up, right, it was a lot of things that I did not learn in my household that I learned outside. You know what I'm saying? That helped me navigate life easier. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I feel like opening yourself to new forms of education and new forms of thinking and new ways of being is important, because sometimes the way that we, like, the belief systems and the things that are instilled in us could be something that's contributing to the bondage or the choices that we're making that's keeping us in an effed up situation. Because like I said, like, a lot of times with domestic violence, people, it's not like, oh yeah, some people stay in that because of religion. Because some people have this belief system that that they have to only be with one husband for the rest of their life or one partner for the rest of their life, and so they really believe that. But if your partner is a schizophrenic, you know what I'm saying, person who's like beating you and always in a psychosis state and thinking they Jesus Christ and they beating you up, I think you need to change something need to change there. Okay. I'm just saying. I want this drink to be icy. But yeah, so it's like sometimes you gotta alleviate certain thoughts, and like I said, these people who are the closest to you can have heavily influence on how you think, right? That's why when you see some women who are in abusive relationships, they're in abusive relationships because, their parents is telling them to stay in that relationship because, yeah, he's a good man, he has a house, he has a car, he gives you money. But meanwhile, he have you locked in a closet all the time. He's beating you, he's doing all this stuff, but they don't see that. And they want you to stay with him because they see that he's financially taking care of you, but also he's abusing you. And sometimes women want other women to stay in abusive relationships because they dealt with abuse. And that's all they know. Like, this world is mad big. Like, listen. You are only in one part of the world, yo. It's so many different cultures out there, so many different people, millions of people out there, so many different ways of living. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to sit there and talk about, oh yeah, how perfect life is and everything is going to be good. And, that's not it. Like, life ain't perfect. Yeah, we're going to have conflict, but you shouldn't be getting your ass beat every day. You shouldn't be getting your ass beat, period. No, we're not doing that. No. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. We gotta definitely, even taking that, like, understanding that in a nutshell. Like, you don't deserve that. You don't deserve, you know what I'm saying? You are worthy of love. You're worthy of respect. Even loving and respecting yourself. It's nothing wrong with, getting yourself together and doing what you need to do. Leaving a situation. You'll figure it out. You know what I'm saying? Really dealing with the holes that you have in yourself and filling them with things that you want to fill them with love, life. You know what I'm saying? That's why taking care of yourself. You know what I'm saying? You got to start feeling good about you. You know what I'm saying? And everything that you see in the mirror. And not seeing yourself how another abusive person see you. How your abusive spouse see you, or your abusive whoever. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes we could love somebody. We could love them so much and we want to be there for them, build them up, but they just don't love us the way that we love them. Right? And that's just what it is. You have to work on yourself consistently, and there's different things that that can contribute to that. You have to figure out, like, what's going to work for you, right? That's what you have to figure out, in terms of creating a plan for yourself. Like, we should definitely be doing something in reference to, like, self-care. Tap into that aspect of ourselves when we are, taking care of ourselves. That's important. Yeah. We have to tap into that aspect of knowing that things are going to be okay. Like, yeah. So it's important for us to be able to do that. And while I'm here talking to you guys, I want to let you guys know that I do coaching sessions, right? And with the coaching sessions that I do provide, it's all about helping you assisting you on your self-improvement journey, helping you to get where you wish to be, helping you set up a plan, and helping you fulfill your potential in life, and helping to create a mindset change, right? So, and also I do break down the secrets to really shifting your life around forever, right? So it's really all about, like, assisting, but it's important that, people start to shift their focus onto other people, from other people onto themselves, and really do what it is that they need to do to build themselves up. And then also I do offer vent sessions. I offer vent sessions for 45 minutes and 30 minutes. A vent session is basically what it sounds like, a vent session. Okay. And I do combined sessions I do coaching and a combined session is nothing more than a coaching and vent session that's together. If you are interested in any of this, definitely go to www.beautifulstartpodcast.com. Definitely do that because it is up there. Also, I do have a colloquy session. If you're interested in that. Also, I have the Get Back to Me, Get Back to Life monthly group. This group is only for women only. If you're interested in finding out about the group, definitely go to the website. I feel like if I discuss it, I'll be here for a whole hour discussing, what the group is about. It's definitely a positive, uplifting group. It's all about this group is for women from different parts of the world who are all about building their lives the way they see fit, and who is moving on from like the past and beyond any kind of challenges, struggles, right? Because at the end of the day, we are all kind of dealing with something, so definitely go to the website for that. And I do offer a free meditation, right? This is absolutely free. It's meaningful meditation. I offer this once a month. It's absolutely free. And it's a 30-minute session. Anyone can sign up. This is for anyone. So you definitely sign up, and you go to the website www.beautifulstartpodcast.com. You go to that website, sign up for it, and then you will be sent out the information in terms of when it's going to be. But all the information in regards to the different sessions and the group and the meditation is on the website, so definitely go there for that. But that's a little bit of what I do offer, and it's something that is ongoing. So I know that you guys, are on these social media platforms, and I want to give a big ups to all the people who have, definitely started following the channel and started listening to the podcast consistently. I'm so grateful for you. I hope that the information that you are getting out of it you could utilize into your life, because I've been doing this for like 4 years. Over 3 years. I've been over 3 years, 4 years. Yeah. Since 2018 I've been doing a podcast. So it's definitely a lot of information, but I don't be always active on a social media like I should, or certain things have been going on in the background where I have not been, doing the podcast consistently, because the podcast, I have over 100 episodes, right? But you could go to my website and you could listen to the current episodes. But lately I haven't been putting up any episodes because of technical difficulties. There's just a lot of things going on in the background, but it's going to I'm going to start posting frequently soon. But yeah, because we have to take care of what we have going on. So I had to take care of myself. Like, I'm not perfect. I'm gonna keep that a buck with you guys. I'm not perfect, but I feel like, sometimes I do have to go within. I do have to do my personal workings, and I have a lot going on. Okay. So it is what it is. But regardless whether I'm on this social media or not, or posting new stuff, the stuff behind the scenes is always going on, right? You could always book a session. That's 24 hours. You could book a session. You could, sign up for the group, sign up for the meditation. So these are things that are always going on, right? As far as me going live and the social media posting and stuff like that, I'll get to that when I get to that. But I'm so appreciative of all the new, people who have discovered this podcast. I'm so grateful. Definitely like and share. That's something that you guys could do. But if you're interested in booking a session, being a part of the group, or signing up for the free meaningful meditation, definitely do, because that is something that's always active. The group, we meet twice a month, and it's always on a Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So it's twice a month Eastern Standard Time. So if you're in a different time zone, you got to figure out what that time is for you. So yeah, so that's important too. And a meaningful meditation is always on a Wednesday at 11:59 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right? But you just got to know which Wednesday it is. So you have to sign up, and the link and everything will be sent out to you. So yeah, and to book a session with me, all the times are there. Like you could go to the website and you click it, like whatever session you want to have. And then when you click it, all the available time slots is there. Now, listen, I do have some overnight sessions for those, because everything is Eastern Standard Time, but you have to select the time zone you in so you can know what time, it is for where you at. It's simple. Everything is straight there. My schedule is there for when I do the sessions. Yeah, so if you're interested in having a session, being a part of the group, or being for the meaningful meditation, definitely sign up for that. But those things are always going on, whether I post on social media or not. I'm just letting you know, because on some dead serious, here I go with my New York slang, on some dead serious shit. Let me stop. But yeah, so I just been on some working on myself and doing a lot of things behind the scenes. I'm about to bring some new things to to the website that I'm working on, and sometimes I don't want to be on social media. Like I'm keeping a buck with you. Like I like coming on and talking about different topics and sharing information and stuff like that, but a lot of this stuff online, I ain't even going front. Like some of this stuff is just toxic. Some of these people are just crazy. I'm just saying, like some of the stuff I see, I just be like, ain't no way. Like sometimes when you cut off this internet and get into your own life, you get to deal with your own shit and work on your own self and do what it is that you need to do. Like, yes, for granted, yeah, there's a lot of toxic stuff online, as well as there's a lot of information and stuff that you could really get to change your life and to do something with it and to work on yourself, right? That's important too. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not going to sit here and try to be like, oh yeah, the internet is all toxic. No, it's some good information too. But sometimes you got to know when you tapped into yourself and following and going into your intuition, sometimes you got to step back and just be like, you know what? I need to take a break from this and do what I need to do. You know what I'm saying? That's just like, if you don't have no money, right, and you looking for a job, you don't just look for a job one time, you do it over time, and you do things within, like, while you putting your applications out for jobs, while you know what I'm saying, or even coming up with a business, right? Because sometimes you could create your own business. You know what I'm saying? Like, do something for yourself. Like, you could create your own income. Like, I know people out there who, like, they into different art forms, and they do paintings, and they sell their paintings, or they, sell different, some people go online, they sell makeup, because they like makeup. They put makeup on and they sell makeup, you know what I'm saying? And then they create their own makeup line. Or some people have like this thing for, making cars. Like, around this time, like, people like to buy cars to send out to family members, because you got Christmas coming up, you got New Year's, birthdays are always always on the up and up. You know what I'm saying? People are always having birthdays. So it's like, some people out there, they create different cards or different, like, they sit down, they create their own form of income, right? And that takes time, right? Coming up with whatever it is that you trying to present out there, building up your business, or even building up a career, right? Because some people, they want to be in a certain type of career. They no longer like the job that they have. There's some people out there that been on jobs for like 30 years, 40 years, and they say to themselves like, yo, I can't do this no more. Like, I don't want to work this job no more, right? But instead of just quitting and not having money, what they do is they'll go to school or go to a training program that could open up open the door to a different profession that they find that they want to be in, and then you have, people who want to just do it just to, if you're a doctor and you say to yourself, like, I don't even want to be a doctor no more. I want to open my own salon, my own bar salon, or, whatever. All that stuff takes work. And sometimes it takes time with you being by yourself and just, building it up from nothing. You know what I'm saying? That's why it's good to spend time with yourself. And, some people just be bored. Like, they don't even want to spend time with themselves or do anything, and that's their choice. That's their life. I'm not going to, put someone down for where they at in their life. Because sometimes people be in a place where they don't want to do shit. They like, yo, I'm going to wake up. You know what I'm saying? I probably brush my teeth, wash my ass, but I ain't doing nothing. I'm going to just chill, watch this little series on Netflix, you know what I'm saying? Eat some popcorn, put my phone on do not ring or turn my phone off, and I'm just going to watch this series. Some people be in that space, you know what I'm saying? But my thing is, how long do you have to be in that space, ain't nothing wrong with it, because we all go through certain problems or certain issues where we like, yo, what is good? And you just be like, yo, all this drama and stuff, all this chaos stuff, nah, I'm not dealing with it. I'm just, tap out and watch the series. Okay? And Netflix made it possible, or Hulu, or, you know what I'm saying? Tubi, free stuff, Fivi, all this stuff. What they have, they have all this, they have so many stuff, you know what I'm saying, outside of the internet too. But all that stuff is, I feel like all that stuff is, connected. Some people just be sitting on YouTube all day watching people and different views and stuff like that. People, different views and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, when you're done with all that stuff, you still have to face yourself. You still have to do things for you. Because, some people do have the luxury of sitting on their couch and doing nothing because their bank account is long. You know what I'm saying? Or they have like certain funds that was given to them, or, they set up their lifestyle where, they could do that. And it's like, all right, this is what I want to do. And so this is what I'm going to do. I ain't going to do shit. Some people set up their lifestyle for that, for them not to do nothing. But the key thing is they doing what they want to do, and they not being dictated by nobody else. You know what I'm saying? Because I see people who be, they be sitting back complaining about life, complaining about where they are. Just such a Grinch. You know what I'm saying? Just mad and angry and just bitter. But then these same people have the power to change their circumstances, but they don't. What's the point of complaining about something that you ain't going to change? What's the point of that? You know what I'm saying? Some people get into this routine about complaining about things that they could freaking change. That's just like, you in a train station. Well, let's say you go to the train station, right? Because, in New York City, that's where I'm at, right? New York City, right? They have, you could travel many ways. You know what I'm saying? You could, if you have a car, or you could get an Uber, Lyft, taxi. They have these yellow taxis, or you could get on a train, right? A lot of times people like to do the trains because the trains are fast. You know what I'm saying? Unless it's like a delay or something like that. So you get on the train, you know, the train cart, right? You choose a particular train cart, right? You could see, like, any New Yorker know, right? If you see a train cart that's absolutely empty and there's like one person in there or two people in there, but the rest of them are full up, yeah, the one of them two people in there smell like piss. It stinks. You know what I'm saying? So if you get on this train with just these two people on there and they stink, you know what I'm saying? Like, you could get off of that cart and go to another cart. But if you just sitting there complaining, what's the point of that? If you're going to sit there and smell that nasty piss, you know, feces or whatever it is, you know what I'm saying? Cover your nose, deal with it, you know, or you could get up and go to the next cart. That's how simple it is with life. Like, you know what I'm saying? You don't like your situation. Like, although, yeah, it's going to be challenging, it's going to be a little difficult, you know what I'm saying? But that don't stop the show. You know what I'm saying? You still got to get up and do what you got to do. You know, you still have to maneuver through this life. But people are not going to tell you this stuff. You know what I'm saying? They're not going to tell you stuff because some people want to see you in a messed up situation. They want to see you fail, and that's so horrible to say. Like, even with me saying that, it's just like, it just sounds so horrible. It's like, how could someone want to see you fail in life, give you misinformation, lie to you, belittle you, bring you down? You know what I'm saying? Come up with these different scenarios that they're going to talk to you about so that they could F with your head. You know, and I feel like people have to be cognitive or aware of this type of stuff because, yes, it does happen. You know what I'm saying? It does. But if you on top of yourself and know yourself and love yourself and know your self-worth, you ain't gonna put up with none of that stuff. Someone say something to you, you got to come back for that. You feel me? I'm not dealing with nothing that I don't want to deal with. I'm just not. You know, like, some people go online and they listen to all this negative stuff. Like, you know, like, if you a woman, why would you listen to someone who hates women and try to debate with someone who hates women? If someone hates women, that ain't a person that you should be listening to. Or, you know what I'm saying? It makes no sense. Like, what do you have to say that's going to make me be a better person? No, you just going to bring me down and make me feel some type of way so that you can have some type of control over me. That's what I see when I see people who be listening to people who be just, that's stupid. Like, to listen to somebody who is actively degrading you or actively putting you down. Like, every day you run into listen to someone who hate women and you a woman. It makes no sense at all. But a lot of people do that. They have programmed themselves to, you know, listen to the toxicity, to, you know, listen to, like, people degrade someone else. Like, that's something that they have been grown accustomed to. And I just feel like, yeah, you don't have to, you know, subject yourself to that, right? You don't have to. You know, someone was trying to talk to me about something someone said negative. I'm like, why are you telling me this? What's the reason for this? Like, why do I need to know this? Like, even if someone talking about you, right? If someone talking about you and you're trying, like, let's say if you're trying to focus on studying for an exam or studying for, you know, a a role that you're trying to play, or you are, creating music or doing some type of art, or, you cleaning up your home, you doing something positive, writing out stuff, spending time with your family. For someone to go out their way to call you and tell you about something someone's negatively said about you is something that I feel like that person want to bring you down, right? Because it's like, at the end of the day, why do you need to know what anybody else got to say about you negative? You know what I'm saying? What's the even addressing that? It's like, yo, what you think or talk about me is not gonna it's not gonna change anything. You know what I'm saying? It's not going to make me want to, it's not going to make me want to be around you. I don't need to be around you. You feel what I'm saying? Like, especially when you're trying to do something positive and someone trying to bring you down to, bring you down to a level that somebody else wants you to be on, to make you feel like shit. Like, you don't have the best interest for me if you telling me anything that's not gonna benefit me. I don't care what nobody say. Like, see, you know what I'm saying? We live our life how we want to live our life. Like, I'm not gonna let you make me feel no type of way about myself. I don't care. I don't care who you are. You know what I'm saying? Some people just sit back and, like, listen, I don't care. I genuinely don't care. About that negativity. I feel like anybody who want to go out your way to tell you some negative stuff is a person that want to see you hurt and in pain. I'm just, that's just how I feel. And in terms of, we're not talking about constructive criticism. We're talking about somebody, oh yeah, she said this about you, or this person said you're ugly, this person said you're skinny, this person said you stink, this person said you talk funny, who cares? Like, somebody that's constantly coming to you talking about the negativity, it's just like, what's the purpose of that? Especially if you already got your day plan, you doing what you have to do. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times people just like to entertain the negativity. They do. Like, what I've realized in my journey in life is that, there's so many things to talk about on the phone with, like, whether, a friend, a family member, whatever. There's so many things to talk about, but you need to start asking yourself why people choose to have certain conversations with you versus other people. Because it's like people pick and choose what they're going to say to certain people, and you know what I'm saying, it's selective conversations that people are having, that they try to gear your mind into they trying to gear your thinking into a certain way in which they could influence you. Because at the end of the day, it's like, especially when you have people coming to you, right? Like, people who have businesses, right? Let's say if you have someone that you talk to on a regular basis, this person has a thriving business, right? But every time they talk to you, they talking about their fucking problems with you. But they're not talking about their thriving business and how you could have a business too. Or, like, you know what I'm saying? But they want to come to you and talk about all their problems, but they don't want to come to you and talk about, how they made their success happen and how you can make your success happen. You feel what I'm saying? But they want to utilize you as a sponge to take on all that negativity in terms of talking about their problems so that they can have your mind in the gutter. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I start to realize. I'd be like, oh, okay, I peep this shit. You know what I'm saying? It's like, just like someone who sit there, they want to come to you and talk about everybody problems and all this stuff, talk about all these different peoples, but they don't want to give you no type of knowledge or no type of wisdom. People who really care about you want to see you doing good, because if they really, especially if you're a woman who have children, like what are you coming to me talking to me about all this drama and chaos stuff? They got therapists out there. They got people who's offering vent sessions for that. I just honestly, feel like, and that's what people do. You know what I'm saying? That's what they do. That's why I'm like, you gotta, protect yourself at all costs. Like, I'm not saying like, oh, just, turn a blind eye or something like that to someone who's in need. No, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that if someone wants to just come to you with all the negative things that's coming on in their life, but they don't want to come to you about the positive things that's going on in their life, you know what I'm saying? Like how they got their business started, how they started making money. What, you know what I'm saying? Like how you could make money. Like, let's say if you a broke chick, right? And you on public assistance, you know what I'm saying? And you've been going to different jobs and stuff like that. And you got a homegirl who has her own business and been making money and stuff like that. And, they see you struggling and they was in that same predicament that you was in. You know what I'm saying? Struggling and shit like that. But they made a way for themselves. Why is it that, this person who has a thriving business want to have a mediocre conversation with someone who's trying to make a way for themselves, who's actually doing the work, right? But it just hasn't panned through. But they want to sit there and talk to you about how they man ain't shit and how, you know what I'm saying, they having all these issues and problems, but they don't want to offer you a job. They don't want to, like, you know what I'm saying, tell you how they got to where they are, like keeping all the gems and jewels to themselves. They're not going to tell you about the books that they read or the different stuff. They want to keep you like, let me just tell her this bullshit so that her life could be like this, because ain't nobody going to get on my level type of energy, right? And that's BS. I feel like each one teach one. Like, at the end of the day, I just feel like if I see someone struggling, I could offer information on my level or what I did to get out of a certain situation. Then I'm going to offer that. But I'm not going to sit there and constantly, belittle you or bring you down or talk about this drama stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just going to talk to her about my problems that I'm having with my girlfriend or my friends or my parents and all that stuff. I'm just going to have this conversation. But, I see her struggling and stuff like that. I'm not going to offer no opportunities. I'm not going to help her and her children. I'm just going to talk to her and fill her mind with all this bullshit. Cause that's what it is. Like, however you want to put it. Like, these conversations, like, they seep down into your subconscious. You know what I'm saying? That's a whole nother show. Like, in terms of, reprogramming your mind and programming your subconscious mind, and cause, certain habits and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, what's the point? You know what I'm saying? You be on the phone for like 3 hours, 2 hours, and you really don't even know what a person's about, because they filling your mind with BS. You sit like people sitting on the phone and talk about all these reality TV stars and their life is all chaotic and crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like, you having these mediocre conversations with people that you could actually be building up and giving them information. Because if you giving them information that's going to let them grow, that means that when they change, and especially when they open, to receiving information. Because now if you have someone that's just not like, listen girl, I'm not trying to do all that's you know what I'm saying, I'm not really about that, I'm trying to work on this in my life, that's a whole nother thing. But if you have someone who, they trying to find their way, they trying to make some money, they trying to take care of their kids or whatever, you're going to put them on. You know how many friends in the past that I had that put me on to certain jobs that I didn't even know about and put money in my pocket that I never even had that kind of money before, and they put me on, and I'm very appreciative of those friends that I had that see me struggling and was like, yo, you could go to this, job and they giving people like this amount of money. Put me on, tell me about stuff. Or you could start selling this, set up a business online. You could do this, like, offering information of growth. But all that drama, chaotic stuff, and people want to call you and talk about their baby daddies and what they husband and all that stuff. And y'all supposed to be, friends and stuff. Like, yeah, it's nothing wrong with venting and stuff like that. But every day, that means that you need to work on yourself and get yourself out of, you need to put your phone on do not disturb and work on yourself and do what you gotta do. Because I'm telling you, these girlfriends of yours is not having those conversations with their mentors or with the woman on their level. You know what I'm saying? Having them business. They're not having those conversations. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, when you in a healthy relationship or when you thriving and stuff like that, don't nobody be really talking about what goes on behind closed doors. Let's keep it a buck. If you like, let's keep it a buck. Like, people who are in these healthy relationships, thriving, being successful, they not going to tell you what the hell's going on in their household. They just not. They not going to do it. Right? And even when things are good, people still want to bring your mind to a place where they want to talk about the negative stuff so that you could be in the negativity. And that's where you could be at. And meanwhile, that's where they have you at. And they doing what they have to do for themselves in their business. That's why I say you got to take care of yourself and be mindful of what you putting in yourself. Because what you put in is what comes out. Right? I'm not going to sit online and watch all this stuff about people having issues with their baby daddy and all that dumb stuff. I don't have that. So why I'm gonna, subject myself to something that I'm not even experiencing. And I don't want to experience that. Like, you mean to tell me you got out of a situation to, subject yourself to it in a way in which, it's not benefiting you? It's good to come on and talk about like how someone could get out of a situation, to bring them out of a situation. But someone who's trying to like bring you down and and tell you all this negative stuff, like you ain't there for me. That's how I see it. That's how I see it. Like, what I started to do is I started to believe what the hell I was seeing and believe what I was hearing from people. Like, I started to listen and really tap into and observe, like, people behaviors and what people be actually having conversations about. Because it's just like, they want to fill your mind with the drama and the BS, but yet they living their best life. They don't want you to be on that level. You know what I'm saying? That's just like, with the hip hop and rap or whatever. It was a time when there was just one female rapper reigning supreme and not opening the door for other female rappers. Now, shoot, women are taking over straight up and down. Women are taking over. Like, you cannot have, listen to rap music without listening to a female rapper. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's, women started to really do their thing, like in that arena. Because I remember when it was just one female rapper who was just taking up all, like, doing, because that's how they set it up. You know what I'm saying? They want women to be up against each other. You know what I'm saying? Instead of like opening the doors and whatever. But now you see nothing but women, girl. Okay, nothing but women in this rap arena. You know what I'm saying? Now you see a whole bunch of, female rappers, and there's different kind of female rappers. There's rappers who, they talk about sexually explicit stuff or everyday hood stuff. You know what I'm saying? The ratchet stuff. Like, everyone always want to be talking about how, oh yeah, the music is this, but the people want to hear it. Like, what we doing here? Like, what we doing here in 2023? There's a different female rappers. There's female rappers who like talk about conscious, life experience and stuff. I see it. But y'all don't want to listen to that. You know what I'm saying? Because the numbers don't lie. Women and men lie, but numbers don't lie. You'll see someone out there who talk about a positive message and they rap, right? Give out information, talk about some positive stuff, or talk about, like before, it was like the art form of storytelling with the rapper, you know, with hip hop, you know. They used to talk about, you know, life experiences. It was based on storytelling. Then it kind of morphed into like metaphorics and punchlines and bars. You know what I'm saying? How you could play around your bars and stuff, right? But there's still women out there who rap about, who do storytelling, who's conscious. You know what I'm saying? Who talk about real life stuff, right? And some of them, you know, just like you have Christian rappers, you know, rappers who are talking about, and they have spiritualist rappers now. You know, they have the Christian rappers who be talking about God, Jesus. Then you have the spiritual rappers who be talking about like Oshun and Santeria and the witches and all that stuff, right? You know, you have different people. You have, you know, the rappers, female rappers out there who be talking about, you know, they deadbeat baby daddies and shit like that. Do you have rappers who, you know what I'm saying, they just be talking about the dudes that they effed and, you know what I'm saying, like talking about everyday hood stuff, right? But there's many different things that they communicate, right, in terms of the music, but the numbers don't lie. People like that ratchet hood stuff. I'm not gonna hold you. Like, the numbers don't lie. Like, why is it that you got a ratchet hood song that got 50 million views and this person could go on tour and make money off of that? You know what I'm saying? Because that's what people want to listen to. Like, you know, I don't know how it goes with the record labels or whatever like that, because I never made it to, like, you know, in terms of like the music industry, in terms of that. Like, I don't know the behind the scenes, what's that's like. But as far as this online thing, the online presence, even these apps like Spotify, Tidal and stuff like that, like, you have these artists, you have people that could select and choose the music that they listen to. You don't have to listen to the music that they just play on the radio. Do people even listen to the radio anymore? Like, who have a radio in their house with FM and AM? You know what I'm saying? With an alarm clock. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people go on their apps, you know, and listen to this stuff, right? So it's like they choose to listen to, you know, this music, right? And that's what's popping, right? Because at the end of the day, like, people could choose the music. They could select what they want to listen to. Like, you could go on whatever app, like with Spotify has, like, you know, I'm not subscribed to Spotify, but I think they have like a free, you know, you could listen to it with the ads, and you could choose whatever you want to listen to. Like, there's a lot of positive rappers out there that I like. I like Cyrock. Yo, she is dope. When I tell you, she got albums and her music is so good, yo. It's a song, I believe it's called Forever, yo. That song is a banger. Like, that song you could listen to in the beginning of the day and it just makes you feel mad good and empowered. Like, I'm telling you, yo. I think that song is called Forever, right? But it's, yo, that her name is Cyrock, and she got some banging ass music. When I tell you she got banging music, her music is like, yo, inspirational. And it's really good. Her music is good, right? And they have, like, other artists too, right? And I like a lot of New York, you know, like the whole battle rap scene or whatever. Like, I know Remy Ma, she has like I think a battle rap league or something like that. And so, like, different you know, battle rap artists that be, well, it's just, you know, battle rappers or whatever. I know she has that, and there's different, like, you know, artists that comes on the platform. Like, I'm not really big on a battle rap scene, but back in the days I used to like watching it and stuff like that. Now, like I said, now I don't really be on there, but I just like a lot of like, the underground rappers and these rappers, especially when you have the female battle rappers, like that's an art form right there. Like to get on stage and to like, be in front of mad people and just be like, spitting bars, and you have to remember that. And it's like, how many minutes they gotta sit there and rap and battle someone? So it's so many artists. I think who I liked, Star Girl, Lady Red. Yeah, I liked her. She's dope. And I think she changed her name to Red Bands, I think it's called. And her music is dope. Like, she's a dope artist. There's a lot of female artists, female rapper artists that's really dope out there. And, but you have certain people that like, you have certain artists that break through and then other artists that don't break through, but that doesn't mean that you should give up on your music. You know what I'm saying? Like, you should still definitely do your music. But what I'm saying is that in terms of the whole point I was trying to bring up is that how like the numbers don't lie in terms of, what the people want to listen to. Cause I see people that's really, that be having like these huge debates and talk about like, oh yeah, look at this person, they rapping about this, and they bringing down the community and stuff like that. But if you have a journalist, right, that someone's out there, because I feel like rappers do is that, or hip-hop artists, they kind of like talk about what the hell is going on. Like, you feel what I'm saying? How could you be bringing down a whole community when you actually talking about what's actually going on in the community? You feel what I'm saying? Like what actually you experiencing and stuff like that. But that's what the people want to listen to. Like, you know what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, if you are an artist and that's your job to make music, you want to make music that the people want to listen to so you can have a source of income. You know how many broke artists is out there that don't have money and their message is positive, but the people don't support them because they want to listen to this other stuff? You could choose what you want to listen to. It's online. All this stuff is online. You could choose what you want to listen to. No one has to dictate the type of music that you want to listen to. If you want to listen to that ratchet music, listen to that ratchet music. Sometimes that shit motivates you. You know how many people go out to the, wake up in the morning and they put music on. That shit motivates them to get in the shower, wash their ass, clean up their house, go, you know what I'm saying? They driving to work or driving to school or driving to their business, listening to music or listening to their favorite podcast. You feel me? Because the podcast, that could motivate you too. Because I know some people, they listen to different stuff, but I just feel like, I just honestly feel like, whatever motivates you or push you. You know what I'm saying? Some people be listening to that ratchet music while they working out in the gym or cleaning their house. You feel me? Because Lord knows there's some people out there that don't clean their house at all. Never have cleaned their house. They moved into their apartment and they shit look crazy. They ain't never cleaned a refrigerator. There's stains all up in the refrigerator. Then they have pets. Like, how you got 5 dogs and you not taking them for a walk and they just shitting everywhere in the house? You know what I'm saying? But then you want to get mad at the woman who's listening to ratchet music and cleaning up her house. Like, come on, make it make sense. Make it make sense for me. Make it make sense. It makes no sense. Like the stuff that people just be like, yo, come on. It's just music. It's that's just what it is. It's an art form. Like in terms of like people who create these movies, right? Someone actually sat down and wrote out the whole script for a movie. You know what I'm saying? And they got the actors and the director, people shot it, and they put it up there, right? Just like you have artists who sit down and write their music, in terms of like, writing they rap songs or whatever, or some people who actually formulate these beats together. And that takes time. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes you could creatively tap into an aspect of your mind that, because a lot of times, sometimes people tap into the creative realm of their mind where they just tapping into fantasy and they bringing that into the art form of music. See, what I don't understand is a lot of times people always talk like, yeah, there's people out there that like to talk about what they actually see or experience, but sometimes people like to tap into that aspect of the fantasy realm, right? Because at the end of the day, if you come from high levels of poverty, right, where like, let's say you ain't got shit in the refrigerator, not that much food in the refrigerator, you know what I'm saying? You don't have that much furniture in the house. You gotta wear, clothes from the thrift store, not because you want to, but because you have to, because you don't have, that much money or whatever like that. And sometimes, people be homeless, living in a car and stuff like that, or like, they dealing with whatever struggles that they dealing with, and they tapping into a fantasy realm in their mind when they actually writing music or writing these screens and stuff like that, screenplays or whatever. When they start tapping into that aspect of writing what they wanna see for themselves in the future. Because at the end of the day, if you homeless and you live in a car, like let's say, like I know there's a lot of people out there who just choosing to live in a car or a van or RV or whatever like that, because they don't want to pay rent and they want to like, pocket that money. But some people don't have that option, to be like, oh, well, I have the option to live in a house or apartment, but, I'm gonna live in a car. Some people don't have that option. Some people, that's what they have to do to survive, because they don't want to be around their family, or they don't, you know what I'm saying? Or maybe they trying to start some new shit, like go to a new state or whatever. So go to like a new state and start over, and they living in a car and stuff like that. But when you don't have nothing, at least, like your basic needs are met, but it's really hard to meet your basic needs, right? But you still want to be creative, and sometimes people tap into that fantasy of seeing themselves do better. Like you could, like, you living in your car, but then you writing screenplays about people living in houses, having happy and healthy relationships, or having jobs, or like whatever fantasy that you see, like in terms of whatever you want to write about, like whether you want to write about a couple, whether you want to write about seeing yourself do better, like you have rap artists who are broke, but they rapping about like they have money and that they, they're successful. Sometimes people be rapping about, being, doing like the fake shit. Like, come on now. We're not going to sit here and act like everybody rap song is real, B. Come on, let's keep it real. Like, some of that stuff is fake. Like, I don't know in terms of this society why they put so much pressure on people writing songs that really reflect their life. Because some people not going to sit there and talk about that they living in their car. They not going to do that. They're going to try to tap into an aspect of their mind so that they could see themselves doing better or rap about a better life than what the hell they have. You know what I'm saying? And some people do tap into that. Some people create certain characters in the realm of their mind and they write about that character. You know what I'm saying? And then they perform it. And they pretend, you know what I'm saying? That's just like with this whole scripting stuff. Like, you have people out there who be scripting to manifest whatever it is that they want. And the key thing is to write about what do you want? How do you see yourself? right? Because if you broke and then you writing about money, like, oh, I have this, I have that, you trying to bring into reality what it is that you want, and that's the whole basis of that. And that's why you could see people who come from nothing into all this stuff, because they tap into that aspect of themselves, like, where they are creating scripting, a different life that they currently don't have. And some people put a lot of pressure on these people in terms of, like, oh yeah, your raps or your music is fake, you ain't living that lifestyle. Who cares? It's a song. Like, you either like it or you don't like it. Like, what the hell what we talking about here? And sometimes you don't even have to tap into that aspect of talking about what you have and what you don't have. Sometimes people make songs about other stuff. You know what I'm saying? I was listening to the song about this man cheating on his girlfriend. Getting the ad in the paper, reading the ad. He was having issues with his girlfriend. She ain't doing what she normally does. So he looked at an ad and respond to that ad, and he made a whole song about that stuff. Like, you could make a song about, like, who this, like, back in the days, who was the rapper who used to have crazy songs? This dude Eminem, like, nobody even be talking about this dude. Eminem made a whole rap song about killing his mother, burying his mother, and nobody never, like, come on, what we doing here? Like, what we doing here? That's fantasy, right? But if his mother would have ended up dying, you think they would have came to him like, okay, well, on your song you said this. Like, people just utilize they musical skills for whatever. Like, tapping into stuff. I think he did that because he had a abusive, traumatic childhood that, whatever. But that's a crazy song. You know what I'm saying? That's definitely crazy. He never got on trial for that. But, yeah, so I don't know why I brought up hip hop rap or whatever. But yeah, so that's what it is. I think I've been on here for a while. So yeah, so in terms of, like, yeah, you could sing about whatever it is that you want to sing or rap about. You formulate, music. But some people are getting penalized for the music that they are putting out, while others aren't. Yeah. But as far as, certain artists tapping into that aspect of their mind, I just feel like we could tap into certain aspects of our mind, like in terms of tap into a positive way in which we see ourselves, because sometimes we could see ourselves in a negative light based on our experiences, the traumatic things that we've gone through, the things that people said to us. It's amazing how people don't realize the impact or influence that they have on someone when they say something negative, because sometimes people could remember, like, somebody could say all the positive things to you, that could build you up and stuff like that, right? But as soon as someone says one negative thing, it's like that joint is just permeating in your mind, like, making you just angry, foggy, and you just be like, oh, why they said that about me? But the question is, why are you holding on to that? And why is it so much? Why are you valuing what someone else said, right? And we have to tap into that aspect of letting all that negativity go and tapping into what we want, right? Even if your life ain't what it is, what you wanted it to be, you could tap into that aspect of writing out what it is that you want. And sometimes you have to go into a room, and address all your problems and come up with solutions. And sometimes writing can do that. That's why they have this thing called scripting, where, people write out how they want to, how they see themselves, how they want to see themselves, what they want in their life, what they want to manifest. And they writing it as if it's happening in the present moment. You know what I'm saying? It's like you writing a character for yourself, like you writing your happy ending, the story of your happy ending, right? Because sometimes there's many different chapters. Sometimes people be still stuck on chapter 1. You still stuck on chapter 1 in your childhood, the effed up things that people did to you, right? And I feel like because people be stuck there because they never dealt with it. They never dealt with their issues. They never, faced the problems, the trauma. But if you like 50 and you still effed up over something that happened when you were 5 years old, and you allowing that thing to control your life, then you got a lot of work to do. You do. You got to get out of that. Like, yo, you got to, not give power to these other people. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of times, other people be trying to control. Like, you got to let that go. Because I feel like holding on to certain things is giving someone else the power. It's just like you trying to ask somebody for permission to move on. You know what I'm saying? And I just feel like, yo, you just got to make that, conscious effort to be like, yo, I'm not dealing with that no more. Like, I'm not subjecting myself to this BS. I'm not doing it. That's not what we doing. You know what I'm saying? And that's why taking care of yourself, you got to start to take care of yourself by pouring life into you, because sometimes our mind can be limited by what we have learned. Sometimes what we have learned can be very negative and damaging. Sometimes it takes opening our mind and discovering a new way of feeling, thinking, perceiving, and maneuvering through life. We can do this by having, a one-on-one with a coach, reading a book that will help us to overcome. Reading a book, right? The right book, and applying it to your life, can help to overcome, what you're dealing with, right? And sometimes, like, having a deep dialogue in a group, like, or just redirecting your focus, shifting your focus onto, what it is that you want rather than what you don't want, focusing on, how can you create the life that you want now versus the effed up shit that happened. And it's not for anyone else to understand what you're going through. Like, you don't have to explain yourself to nobody. You don't. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to. But some people do it because they don't want people to think that they don't care. Like, instead of just putting your phone on do not disturb, you could be like, yo, I'm going through something. I'm just working on myself right now. This has nothing to do with you. Please don't take it personal that I'm not answering your phone call, but I just have stuff that I need to work on, right now. And, I'm going to get back to you. I'm going to call you back, or, just give me some time to deal with this or work on this very thing, Some people do that for those people that they love, because they don't want people to feel like, oh yeah, they shitting on me. They not messing with me or whatever, because they want to have an open dialogue. But then sometimes sometimes people are not able to do that. Sometimes people just don't want to talk to people, and they just want to work on whatever that they need to work on, because it's just that imperative. It's just that important, because sometimes it's a matter of life. You know what I'm saying? Like, to work on yourself, you know what I'm saying? Not to fall deep into something that you don't want to be in. Because some people are kind of like, they waking up in this space that they don't even want to be in no more. And they are trapped in their own doing, or other people doing. Like, when you let other people have so much control of your life, and when you wake up out of that, you be like, well, damn, this is nothing I really wanted for myself. You know what I'm saying? So, but you have to, like, tap into that aspect. But Yeah, you have to work on yourself daily, you know, and that's just what it is. But I'm gonna plug through this last plug-in. So I do offer coaching sessions, vent sessions, combined sessions. Which let me repeat that again. So I do offer coaching sessions, vent sessions, combined sessions, which is just a vent session and a coaching session together. That's a combined session, and a colloquy session. Now, if you're interested in learning more about that, definitely go to www.beautifulstartpodcast.com. Also, you could join the group, and I do a free meditation, the meaningful meditation, and the group is Get Back to Me, Get Back to Life monthly group. That's what the group is called. If you're interested in any of, like, booking a session, joining the Get Back to Me, Get Back to Life group, or the meaningful meditation, definitely go to the website www.beautifulstartpodcast.com. But I thank you for riding out with this. If you're listening to this on a replay, definitely like. If you on YouTube, subscribe. If you on the YouTube, if you on a Facebook page, definitely follow or like the page. But definitely share. I thank you so much for listening to this. If you have any questions, comments, definitely wherever you listening to this, I definitely comment below. Share your experiences that you had, anything that you want to share, whether you want to ask a question, whether you want to comment and say something of whatever it is, definitely do that. But yeah, I have to go. Thank you so much. Peace.